You're good.
Okay, Julie, your camera's dark. I don't know. I want to welcome everyone to the City Council meeting on Wednesday, December 16th. Trust that everyone is being safe out there. We're going to go through our agenda to make sure we're all on the same page before we go into our official meeting. Does everyone have an agenda? All right. Councilman Ray, are you ready to go through the agenda?
Yes, Mr. President.
All right. Under communications, item number 1.
Receive and file.
2,
Receive and file.
3,
Receive and file.
4,
Receive and file.
5,
Receive and file.
6,
Receive and file.
7,
Finance and planning.
under reports, number 8,
Receive and file.
9,
Receive and file.
10,
Receive and file.
11.
Receive and file.
There are no public comments. There are no speakers for this evening. Under ordinances, item number 1,
Suspend and consent.
2,
Suspend and consent.
3,
Suspend and consent.
4,
Suspend and consent.
5,
Suspend and consent.
6,
Suspend and consent.
7,
Suspend and consent.
8,
Suspend and consent.
9,
Suspend and consent.
10,
Suspend and consent.
11,
Suspend and consent.
12,
Suspend and consent.
13,
Suspend and consent.
14,
Suspend and consent.
15,
Suspend and consent.
16,
Suspend and consent.
17,
Suspend and consent.
18,
Suspend and consent.
19,
Suspend and consent.
20,
Suspend and consent.
21,
Suspend and consent.
22,
Suspend and consent.
23,
Suspend and consent.
24,
Suspend and consent.
25,
Suspend and consent.
26,
Suspend and consent.
27,
Suspend and consent.
28,
Suspend and consent.
29,
Suspend and consent.
30,
Suspend and consent.
31,
Suspend and consent.
32,
Suspend and consent.
33,
Suspend and consent.
34,
Suspend and consent.
35,
Suspend and consent.
36,
Suspend and consent.
37,
Suspend and consent.
38,
Suspend and consent.
39,
Suspend and consent.
40,
Suspend and consent.
41,
Suspend and consent.
42,
Suspend and consent.
43,
Suspend and consent.
44,
Suspend and consent.
45,
Suspend and consent.
46,
Suspend and consent.
47,
Suspend and consent.
48,
Suspend and consent.
49,
Suspend and consent.
50,
Suspend and consent.
51,
Suspend and consent.
52,
Suspend and consent.
53,
Suspend and consent.
54,
Suspend and consent.
55,
Suspend and consent.
56,
Suspend and consent.
57,
Suspend and consent.
58,
Suspend and consent.
59,
Suspend and consent.
60, 61,
Suspend and consent.
62,
Suspend and consent.
63,
Suspend and consent.
64,
Suspend and consent.
65,
65 will be suspended consent with a separate vote for that one.
All right. 66,
Suspended consent.
67,
Suspended consent.
68,
Suspended consent.
kind of a lengthy agenda, so we won't go through it twice. Are you all ready to go into the meeting? There are no changes, so we will go into the meeting. This meeting on December 16th, 2020 is now called to order. Clerk, call the roll.
Zack.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
Hughes.
Here.
McNally.
Here.
Oliver.
Here.
Ray.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Kitchen.
Here. I'm going to ask everybody if they could please mute their lines unless you are speaking, please. Thank you. Under communications and reports, item number 1, Councilman Ray.
Receive and file.
No, the motion.
Oh, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion that items 1 through 11 be received and filed in INS and planning.
Second.
All right, motion carries. Under ordinances, item number 1.
Authorizing the Board of Control of the City of Youngstown to solicit pricing from all local vendors and purchase various castings, catch basins, manholes to replace the inventory used by the City of Youngstown's wastewater treatment plant throughout the collection system.
Councilman Ray.
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules of council and place items ordinance 1 through 64 and 66 through 68 before council for passage pursuant to the consent agenda.
Second.
Roll call on the suspension.
Zack.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
McNally. Councilwoman McNally.
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Turner.
Yes.
7 yeas for the suspension.
The rules of council have been suspended. Are there any other remarks? Roll call on the passage.
Zack.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
McNally.
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
Councilman Oliver.
Yes.
Ray
Yes.
and Turner.
Yes.
7 yeas for the passage.
Ordinances 1 through 64, as well as 66 through 68 have all been passed. Under ordinances, item number 65.
Authorizing the expenditure in an amount of $1,000 from the 7th Ward discretionary fund to OCA for programming and services to residents.
Councilman Ray.
Mr. President, I'd like to suspend the rules of council and place item 65 before council before passage pursuant to the consent agenda.
Second. Second.
Roll call on the suspension.
Zack.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
McNally.
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
Ray
Yes.
and Turner.
Yes.
7 yeas for the suspension.
The rules of council have been suspended. Are there any other remarks? Roll call on the passage.
Zack.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Hughes.
Yes.
McNally.
Yes.
Oliver.
Yes.
Ray
Abstain.
and Turner.
Yes.
6 yeas, 1 abstention.
Ordinance number 65 has been passed. That concludes the actual agenda, but before we leave, I want to, I have a few remarks, but I want to make way. Councilman Ray, you had a question?
Did we approve the minutes I don't think we approved them.
Oh, thank you.
If you would
You're
entertain
right.
a motion, I would like to make a motion to dispense with the journal and the reading of the minutes and approve them as written for December 2nd, 2020.
Second.
That motion carries. Thank you, Councilman Ray.
You're welcome.
Prior to me going through every council member, I want to give our Health Commissioner, Aaron Bishop, the floor to give us an update on the COVID numbers, where we are in the city. There's a lot of talk about this vaccine, but not sure if it's actually going to be
Can you hear me?
here yet. Yes, we can hear you. So
Sorry.
give us an update where we are, what's going on with this vaccine, what can we expect, those type of things. So you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. And thank you all, council persons, for all that you do throughout the year and all that you have done in helping us with this pandemic. Just a couple things before I talk about the vaccine. Just tomorrow is our final testing day of 2020. We'll be at Grace Evangelical Church, 2214 Mahoning Avenue, and from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tomorrow. So that'll be our last. We're hoping that the National Guard will continue to do testing with us into 2021, but they're taking 2 weeks off. So they said they get back to me at the beginning of January. Also, when it comes to vaccines, as you have been seeing on the news, the first doses from Pfizer went to 10 hospitals in the state of Ohio. The closest hospital was Altman, but then they distributed to the hospitals in our region. So the next shipment is from Moderna, and we at the Youngstown City are set to receive 800 doses. And with those doses, the people that we will be doing first are people that are in congregate living facilities, recovery homes, the mental disabilities, developmental disabilities, and anyone lives in a congregate setting. The nursing homes will be taken care of through CVS and Walgreens. But if anyone else, will be working with the nursing homes, if they were unable to get, maybe some staff done, we'll be able to help them. And then also, we're just going to continue as it comes down from the state. Then we'll let the public know. So it sounds like, we're not going to be able to do general public until probably March, April. That's right now, but that could change. But we just want to continue to be open with our residents and with you, as well, to when we're going to have like mass vaccination clinics. Eventually, we'd like to get into the neighborhoods like we've been doing with the testing. I think it has been very helpful for people to come, or for us to go to them. I think that when we went into the neighborhoods, we did see an increase in the number of people that came to be tested than when we just had it at one central location. So again, I've been, seeing on Facebook and keeping up with reading, and where I've been seeing with people that are, have had the vaccination, talking about, maybe a sore arm, but really haven't had too many side effects from the vaccine. So we're just, as we hear things, we're going to continuously keep everyone here up to date on what's going on. But as the holidays are approaching, just kind of how we did for Thanksgiving, keeping the gathering small. I know we all enjoyed over the holidays before getting together and just celebrating the year that we had. But unfortunately, that's just not going to happen this year. So just can always keep it small. They really want you to focus just being together with your households, continuing to wear that mask. That's so important. We see next year, President-elect Joe Biden will be putting a 100-day wear your mask. So I'm sure we're going to continue to wear our masks as it's mandated in the state of Ohio. And then also just to keep the distancing, that's so important. And then for any of our residents that get called by our contact tracers, just talk to them. And if there's something they can help you with, please feel free to ask them. That's what we're there for. We're there to educate you and just to help you if you're getting quarantined or on isolation, just to help you get through that, by giving you all the information that we can. So again, I know it's been a crazy 2020, but thank you, everyone, the administration, council, president council, for all of your support throughout this time, because as they said from the very beginning, we're all in this together, and I appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron, and we do thank you and your team for the tremendous work that you all have done throughout this year and continue to do. Councilman Oliver, I see your hand.
Yeah, Mr. President, I just had a question for Health Commissioner.
Yes.
Okay.
Aaron, I'm not
Yeah.
funny at all. This question my constituents ask me.
Mhm.
When it comes to the safety of the vaccine, just people are curious about. Okay, when we didn't know about coronavirus, when it took us by surprise, nobody was wearing a mask. I mean, people should have been washing their hands, but people wasn't washing their hands like they are. The numbers they didn't hit the country as hard as they hitting right now. Right now, not going together, and the numbers just went out of control. So I'm like, why are the numbers worse now that we taking precautions than they was before it hit us by surprise?
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of that too, I think, Councilman Oliver, is the fact that, people, although we are taking precautions, people nowadays were getting close, like they were getting comfortable. So what we're seeing in our numbers here, in the city of Youngstown, it's in the families, it's people that got together inside or, do Thanksgiving Day where, you were inside where you're wearing masks with your families. A lot of people weren't because, they felt comfortable, they're with their families. So they let their guards down. And therefore, that's where we were seeing a lot of the transmission as people went back inside. We're not, congregating outside like they were in the summer. So that's, where we have seen a spike in a lot of those numbers where people really did just kind of let their guards down and were not, taking the precautions like we were earlier on in the pandemic.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I know one of my I think we get real comfortable when we get around our family. Forget, I think we feel like it's our family. So like I'm my cousin.
Right. And I think too, Councilman Oliver, what we have seen too at the health department is a lot of businesses that we've been working with, since March that are calling us now, like we're getting all these cases. And I think that happened too, like where, they were getting comfortable again at work and, maybe they were letting their guards down or they were going home and being with their families and not wearing their masks as much and then coming to work. So, people are just like, why is this happening now? And so I think, we're going to hopefully see a big change and the people are listening and staying apart and staying home. And hopefully, we can get through this winter and get on the other side of this.
And just quick follow up, Mr. President.
Sure.
Here, go ahead.
Thank you. So people are asking me also, should they take the vaccine? And they're saying, like usually people are, the immunization companies, Pfizer, what have you, they're basically worried about it here. Person on TV saying it's corona, call 1-800. So how long is it? Are they supposed to have clinical trials before they declare something to be absolutely safe for public consumption? Because it hasn't. I think they did 2 months of trial.
Yeah, I mean, Councilmember, this is really definitely an emergency situation. This has really never been done before, where it's happened so soon. But in reading and listening, they're saying that it's very effective. It's low risk. So, I think we're gonna look to our healthcare workers, and we're gonna look to our physicians, and if they're gonna, if they're telling us to take it and it's safe, I think people will do that. But we want to be upfront, and we are going to work when it comes time to getting it, to the public. That we'll want to make sure that we try to get people, to or have their trust and making sure that they know everything that they may be at risk for getting. Just because I know a lot of people are going to have a hard time with this. I get it. This is new. This has never been, done before so quickly. But I mean, I have faith and a good faith in it. And, I talked to my physician and, she recommended that I take it when it comes time to be offered to me. So, like anything else, I do listen to my doctors and, but again, I know a lot of people have questions. So as we get to know things or hear things, we're going to let you all know so that you can make your, decisions and decide what you want to do, the best way to keep yourself safe and healthy.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to answer the citizen.
Absolutely. Thank you for your questions.
Thank you, Aaron. Councilwoman Davis, I see your hand.
Yes, thank you. My first thing, Aaron, if you just give a quick synopsis or summary, how long on average does the virus stay alive on objects? If you know
So
offhand.
yeah, they're saying, it could be as long as 3 days, but there's been, at first it was a couple hours, then it was a couple days. So it just, I've seen different studies with different, results. So I can't, right now, I don't have a definite answer to tell you. This is just, what I have seen the research throughout the year.
Okay, and I can't say how happy I am to see this vaccine come out. I'm of an age that I was close enough to the onset of the polio vaccine.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
And there was concern then, but my mom our schools made sure that we all had it. And for the most part, it was successful. But even with the polio vaccine, there were a couple of 100,000 people who were affected by it negatively. But
Sure.
I'm going to be looking forward, and I'm going to take that shot when later on when it finally gets to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. I know we have Kevin Flynn on the line. Kevin, with the storm coming up, you want to just kind of address the public and give them a sense of comfort, let them know that our workers are out and the streets will be cleared.
Yes, thank you, President. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're currently at shift change here, 6 o'clock, but we will have 11 trucks out working through the night, working starting on the freeways and mains, moving to the bridges and hills, and we'll be moving to the side streets. But I'd like everybody to know that we really won't be making any progress until the storm stops and passes us by. I just ask that you be patient and give our trucks room on the road to do their jobs. And thank you, President.
Thank you, Kevin. 7th Ward Councilwoman Zack, I see your hand.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. On that topic, is there a parking ban? Did the mayor declare a parking ban that there's no parking on the side streets?
Through the president, or do I?
Yeah, go ahead, Kevin.
Yes, Chuck Shasta did put out a press release. I believe it starts at 9 o'clock tonight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kevin. You guys be safe out there. Finally, our park director, Dawn Turnage, I want to give way to you if you have any announcements of any upcoming events.
Yes, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, thank you. First, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, everyone, Mr. President and rest of council, for your support this year, as we've had to think outside the box and still provide safely opportunities for our community to engage with us and provide service. So with that said, again, we've thought outside the box, and in lieu of our breakfast with Santa that we would normally have at Wick Park, which is also a free event, we are going to do a special delivery with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Everything has been talked over with our health commissioner, and this will be a contactless event. It was pre-registration event, and we will be servicing an opportunity for 40 families with a total of 101 kids throughout the community, providing a bag full of activities as well as pancakes that they can make themselves and even cut out the cookie cutter. So a lot of donations to include those from United Way. Hats and gloves are also included. So we're going to have a fun-filled time on Saturday the 19th. Our first round will be on the east side and the north side. Then we'll take a break and we'll go at 1 o'clock to the west side and south side. So look forward to it, and thank you all for your support.
Thank you very much, Dawn. Councilwoman Davis.
I'm sorry, Don, I missed that, the times on that.
We will start at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And so
Got
if
it.
you do see us going through, Santa will be on and we'll be in like a caravan. So WRTA has also volunteered their service.
All right. Thank you very much, Dawn.
Thank you.
Yep, and so basically I'm going to go around the council, but my final remarks are encouraging everyone, obviously, to take heed to our health commissioner. I know this time of year, a lot of families gather for the holidays and Christmas in particular. But it's also a difficult time for many families. We know we lost several people to COVID this year. Most recently, the community lost former councilman Artis Gillum, so we want to keep that family in prayer. But also, I've learned, I'm not sure if anything went out or why it didn't go out, but our friend and colleague, Deborah Bird in the law department, her mom passed due to complications as well. And so it's just a trying time. She's works in the law department. She is vital to city council because she is the first one who touches the legislation and kind of prepares our legislation. So we just want to remember Deborah Bird and her family, the passing of her mom over this past week as well. So just want to encourage everyone to stay safe. It is getting bad. I was sliding down Hemrod on my way into City Hall, and it's pretty bad out. And so we just want to caution everyone to be careful, continue to mask up. And again, as hard as it may be, try to keep the assemblies to a minimum during Christmas. So having said that, First Ward Councilman, do you have any remarks?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I just want to tell all the citizens, basically same thing as the president. They say cautious. I want everybody to understand that a lot of us, businesses and personal lives and families, all had to reinvent ourselves this year. I just, urge everybody to take that reinvention with more innovation into the next year. Expect more from your city leadership so the city can expect more from you, and just stay safe.
Thank you, sir. Second Ward, Councilman Jimmy Hughes.
Stay safe, Mr. President. I wish everyone, hope everyone take the advice of the experts and those who came before, along with yourself.
Thank you for considering me an expert, Councilman Hughes. Third Ward, Councilwoman Turner.
Thank you, Mr. President. So this has been an exceptional year, and I want to say thank you, Youngstown, for showing us grace and working with us. I also have to thank my constituents here in the Third Ward. That includes Crandall Park South, Love Thy Neighbor, Know Thy Neighbor, Fifth Avenue Neighbors, and the Wick Park Neighborhood Association. Thank you all for finding ways to stay engaged and active and contributing to the community during this pandemic. Thank you to all of the organizations across the city that have found a way to stay active and continue to serve our city. As for the city, you all have worked hard and you've all had to work differently, but a special thanks goes to Erin Bishop and her entire team at the health department for keeping us safe and informed while rising to this extraordinary occasion. As we make our final journey into 2021, I'm asking all of you to set your intentions to get involved in your community. You can volunteer for a nonprofit, join your neighborhood groups, or organize a cleanup. No matter what you do, plan to take one step forward to affecting change in your community. Youngstown, I know that we are all very proud of you. We're proud because the bravery you have shown. Staying away from your family and friends and limiting interactions takes a large amount of strength and bravery, and it is appreciated because it goes a long way to keeping us all safe. Lastly, I'd like to thank our staff. Valencia and Jennifer, you have both worked so hard for us. You've been flexible while keeping us informed, and you are a valuable part of our team, and we would not have made it through this year without you. You both are appreciated and highly valued. With all that said, please find a way to relax, indulge in self-care, or simply take a nap. Either way, show yourself and neighbors some grace as we move through this season. Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, and Happy Kwanzaa. Please remember to stay positive by staying negative from COVID-19. Have a good day.
Thank you. Fourth Ward, Councilman Ray.
Just happy holidays to everyone, and thanks to my colleagues on our city staff for helping us navigate these uncertain times. Just remember to stay safe and keep your distance.
Thank you, sir. Fifth Ward, Councilwoman McNally.
I don't have anything additional to add, just echoing the sentiments of everybody here about staying safe through the holidays. Please, please, please do the best that you can through these holiday times. And hopefully we get to see each other in 2021, because I miss all of you guys, as well as, the residents of the city that we just aren't getting as much FaceTime with this past year as we normally do. So happy holidays to everyone. Happy New Year. And hopefully we'll see you next year.
All right, thank you, Councilwoman McNally. Sixth Ward, Councilwoman Davis.
Thank you. First off, I want to say thank you to all the residents of Youngstown. It could have been so much worse. And thank you so much. Please keep wearing the masks. Please keep your distancing, washing your hands. But thank you for what you've done so far. And I also want to say to my Sixth Ward residents, absence really does make the heart go fonder. I miss my Saturdays with you. Okay. And I want to see you come next year in person, all of you at Coffee and Conversations. I miss you so much. So please continue to stay safe. Okay. Enjoy this holiday, but enjoy it safely and be safe out there tonight as well. Thank you, Valencia. Thank you, Jen. Thank you so much for all your tolerance, your patience. The public has no idea the stress that we put on our staff. And thank you so much. You all be safe. My prayers are with all of you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davis. Last and certainly not least, Seventh Ward, Councilwoman Zack.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I always laugh because I vote first, but then I speak last at the end. So by that time, I'm fortunate because my colleagues are so wonderful and they're able to articulate themselves so well through their words and their speeches that there's not much left for me to say at the end. So I share the same sentiments, and I just want to wish everybody a safe and blessed holiday and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you all very much. Thank you to the public for adjusting with us. I know many people attend in person, but unfortunately this year we had to go virtual. So thank you all for still tuning in throughout this year, staying engaged, staying informed. We wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we will see you in a few weeks.
Merry
This
Christmas,
concludes our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.